Good morning, YouTube. So glad you stopped by. So we're gonna do another video today. It'll be in the shop video, but okay guys, what we're gonna do is show you how to save your back while you're out either dry washing or dredging or high bank or whatever you're gonna do. And a simple piece of equipment, easy to make, and I guarantee it's gonna save your back. You can stand up, you can sit down. You can actually have warm water when you're panning when it's cold. So stand by here and we'll be back in just a short bit. We pan concentrates at the end of every run, and a run for us is usually 45 minutes to an hour. So you do a lot of panning, and sitting on a bucket, this doesn't cut it, and kneeling after 4 or 5 days, I mean your knees are sore and you don't want to do that. So I've got this device set up on the floor, and anybody can build this. It's really easy, and there's a couple different versions of it that you can find that aren't quite like this, but this one's really simple, relatively inexpensive, and anybody can do it. So I'm going to show you basically what it looks like now. It's just in a pile, and I'll set this up for you real quick while you're watching. See if I can get a little bit closer maybe, and we'll see how it goes from there. So basically what it is this tub is a mortar tub, and you can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's or Menards or anybody you use for that kind of stuff. This is all 1-inch PVC. They're all 1-inch PVC fittings all the way around. And there's this lower rail set up, and there's an upper rail. And it creates a lot of stability in this device. And it's pretty easy to put together. You put the four legs there, and then you set the top rail. I might have it upside down right now, but they're really close to being the same, so there's your frame. It's that easy to put together. And you take your panning tub and set it in, and it'll take 2 different sizes. As a matter of fact, my original panning tub was, I think a bar went through it or something went through it, and it just wasn't good anymore. It had a hole in it. Well, Home Depot had changed the size of their tub, so this one's a little bit smaller, but it still fits. And it holds about, I think it's 4 gallons of water. And if you look at this real close, you'll notice that it's pretty short. It's only about knee high. And the reason for that is, after being bent over in a dredge hole or a high bank hole, a lot of times I want to sit. I don't have a chair. Yes, I do. And the reason you want to sit, man, your legs are tired. After about 6 hours or so, you just want to take a little break and rest your back. So now you can pan at this height with your pan right here. Not a problem. We've got another version of this that is, especially for dry washing, and it isn't quite as hard on your knees and back. It's about waist high, so your panning tub is up this high, but you can use this same framework. You just make the legs just a little bit longer to get it the desired height you want. I don't know where those legs are because I hardly ever use that. But let me get the camera. I'll go over these fittings with you and why we've done a few things on it. So here's a close-up of the top rail. As you can see, there's a 90 here, and this is a T. And this is all 1-inch PVC, 1-inch T's. These are about $1.25 a piece, I think. And so for the top piece, you've got 8 items you'll have here. You'll have 4 T's and 4 90s. And the bottom just repeats the top, and you'll have the same, 4 T's, 4 90s. They're all 1 inch. Now what we did on this one, instead of gluing it, a lot of times it's hard to get everything square, so your legs, when you glue if you try to glue these fittings in,
if you're off just a little bit, it makes it really hard to get your legs to stick in. So we just put it all together and then took drywall screws and used drywall screws to hold the fittings together. And we did that all around on all of them, on all sides here. As you can see, there, I mean, it's all the corners. And it holds as good, if not better, than the glue would. And I've seen people do something that I didn't want to do. The ones that glued it together especially, they glued the legs in. Well, now you've got this unruly piece of plastic you deal with. And my point of not doing that is this. You take it apart. There's 3 legs off. There's the 4th. Well, it came out of both ends, but okay, so I got pulled the top off. The legs are still in the bottom, but as you saw when I first started this, you just undo the legs. It's hard to hold the camera and undo the legs, but take the legs off, and you can put them. I just put them in the tub or put a bungee around them so you don't lose them. So now it's all flat. You have nothing big to try to put things around in your truck or however you're hauling it. And it's just a really good all-around system. Easy to build, cheap to build, and I think it'll be a real asset for anybody. You know, after you go out for a few days, and it's real nice to be able to do that. And another thing, like when we dredge, well, like now up here today, I think it's 38 degrees. And what we'll do is when we go down to the creek, we'll take and build a little fire and get hot the water out of the creek, heat the water, put it in the panning tub so you have warm water to pan in when you're cleaning up your concentrates. So that's just another little thing I thought you might be interested in. Hope you are. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, guys, I thought I'd give you some of the measurements here. This is a standard mortar tub, and it measures about 26 inches in length and right at 20.5 inches in width. And it's, you know, like 6 inches tall. But it's a standard mortar tub. You can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere you want. They do vary a little bit, but not enough to make a big difference. I said earlier that I didn't have the legs, but I did find these legs, so I'm going to show you. The short legs are 14 inches. The long legs are right at about 30 inches. And like I said before, you can just bungee those together or tape them. I did both on those. I don't know if you saw that or not, but yeah, the bungees are on it. And you can see it right there. And that just holds them together so they don't get running all over your truck or something. Okay, and for the frames, now these are both the same. They're screwed. You know, you're not carrying water in this, all you want is support, so you don't need to glue these. So I'll give you some measurements. On the long pieces, you're going to be right at 17 inches on 1, 2, 3, 4 longs, the long ways. And you're going to be at about 17 3/4 on the cross pieces. You're going to have 8 1-inch tees. You're going to have 8 90s. And make sure you screw this bottom together and get it as square as you can before you put any screws in it or glue it, whichever way you decide to do it. But that's all there is to this. I mean, it's relatively cheap, inexpensive, but now, you know, when you got both sets of legs, you got a leg
going to be standing up that high. By the time the tub's in it, you're right at waist height there. So that's really good, like especially in the desert. The short legs, like I showed in the video, is better when you're sitting. And it's just right after, you know, about 8 days out mining. It feels good to sit. So anyhow, this is what I wanted to show you, give you a few measurements. I'll try to get some of these into the description below. So one last thing I want you to remember is, you know, these measurements aren't cut in stone. You can put these a little bit longer. As a matter of fact, the ends here, these pieces are close to the same measurement as those. But if you make them a little bit longer, dry fit it and put it together, make sure this tub will remain in there and be solid in that circle. And so you can vary that measurement just a little bit. My advice is make it a little bit longer and cut it to fit, and then test fit it. Because you can always cut a little more off, but you can't add any more back on. So let me set this up. I'm going to set this up on a, let's set it up on a low leg so you can see how low that is for sitting. So here it is set up on the low legs. You know what, you can't tell that it's on low legs because you can't tell because I'm not sitting. So let's fix that. Okay, so here we are in your chair, or whatever you're going to use for a chair, and here's panning level. So you've got just a slight bend to your back, but it's not like you're like this or on your knees trying to pan on this low one. So let me show you what the elevation is on the higher legs. So there you are. You can see the difference in the legs. I have the short legs right underneath it here, and put the long ones in. It didn't take long, but I would strongly advise not using duct tape if you're not going to use this all the time, and it sits for a long time, because the duct tape is really, really hard to get back off, because I use really high-end duct tape. Anyhow, I'll show you the elevation on this end. So for me, this is just right. I can pan right here and I'm not bent over at all. And this is really stable. I mean, it can't go anywhere, especially when you get like 4 gallons of water in here. It's not going anywhere. And you can pan as hard as you want to pan here, and it'll be just fine. So there you go. Just wanted to show you that today.